So did you guys see Barack Obama's super dope 60th birthday party? Draws celebrities and guests ire from conservatives. Oh, those conservatives. InfoWars reports that the liberal elites are laughing at us. Dozens of celebrities, politicians, and other close friends have reportedly flocked to former U.S. President Barack Obama's mansion for a maskless birthday party, triggering a tsunami of criticism from conservatives. But haven't they not? I mean, they've been doing this all along. By the way, electro president, huh? The original guest list for the weekend included some 475 people, but a number of celebrities and former Obama administration officials were disinvited after the feast was slammed as hypocritical and dangerous amid the ongoing surges of dildo. Wouldn't it suck to get disinvited? You'd sold your soul for all this, and and then you get told you weren't cool enough to come. So scale down. Yeah, so here we go. This is his house, 14-something million. And by the way, I think at the peak it's 14 inches above sea level. Still, by the way, the rising sea levels have not changed. It's 6 inches to 14 inches above sea level. Just keep that in mind, because in 10 years it will still be 14 inches above sea level. And 10 years after that. You know, no concern. He didn't buy a house up there in Denver. Nope. He wanted to be on the water. Yeah. Beautiful place, though, I will admit that much. The downsized event was supposedly limited to only the closest friends and family, most of whom were expected to have had their shot. Well, a special COVID coordinator had been hired to ensure the party doesn't turn into a super spreader event. I can only imagine how that job plays out. Amy Kramer says the pandemic has ended and Obama is having a party to prove it. See, it's technically outside because it's being held in this ginormous tent. So apparently if you can have a structure with some walls and then areas for egress, it somehow can't transmit the COVID-19. I'm not sure exactly the science on display here, but this is safe. However, your house is not at all. Super dangerous. So even though they claim to downscale it, many people have questioned this. Candace Owens, how's your Explore Talent page doing, by the way? But she raises a good point nonetheless. The same celebrities and politicians that have lectured you to stay home and mask up, the ones that have lectured you about the planet and climate change doom. There is something poetic about them arriving in their private jets to enjoy an unmasked bash. And you know, that's it, right? Like, they want the control. It's your slave mask. You're supposed to be covered inside and out of sight unless they need you for work. This is the neo-feudal society. It was a lot more fun when it was just an idea we could rant about online rather than actually living it. And the organizers fended off criticism, arguing most of the party was held outside or inside the tent. So it was technically an outdoor event, getting by on a technicality. That's the bureaucrat way. The liberal elites are laughing at us, attempting to sell this as scaled-back party, Representative Elise Stefanik told the New York Post. Democrats are imposing forced shot mandates, unscientific mask mandates, and are openly discussing lockdowns while President Obama gathers with hundreds of maskless liberal elites who flew in on private jets with no shot requirement to attend. Jack Posobiec, Obama had tons of people at his party, maskless, no shot mandate. They are laughing at you. And you can see not a mask in sight. Oh, and the celebrities. Chrissy Teigen, who has tweeted some of the most bizarre things about pizza, ranch dressing, and children. I did a video on this. I don't know what she's signaling, but it's disturbing. John Legend. Oh, John Kerry. I bet he was having a ball there. That guy's a charisma in a bucket. And, Stephen Colbert. It's almost like he doesn't tell jokes to tell truth anymore. It's just bulwarking the establishment narrative. But hey. Shh. So that's what the old Obamas are doing. Look at this video. I love the this is what a cool president does. Whoa. No drugs here. Yeah, they did that. So it included A-listers such as Beyonce, Jay-Z, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, George Clooney, Steven Spielberg, Bruce Springsteen, and Stephen Colbert. As Cernovich puts it, blue check public health, Twitter doesn't seem the least bit concerned about large gatherings at Obama's house party, duly noted. Actually, it's probably lowering the spread, much like those Black Lives Matters riots. They lowered the spread. You remember that science that lowered the spread? That was something. John Kerry, the climate czar, arrived on a private jet. Of course he did, right? And this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And this is produced by the Australian Institute of Marine Science. These scaremongering techniques, climate change, the COVID-19, they ignore the science. The Australian Institute of Marine Science, these are no lightweights here, talking about the Great Barrier Reef, which we are told has been destroyed by climate change and industry, of course, right? Well, the annual data on coral cover for the Great Barrier Reef was released and showed a record amount of coral. A record amount of coral at the reef. Record high despite all the doom stories by our reef science. Shames climate alarmists in the media. They just use this. They just use it to scare you because they think nobody will dig into the numbers. Nobody will think rationally. They just want to be able to say a narrative, and the shots attest at how many people they can force into following it. It's for everything. Full spectrum dominance. Radio, television, music. And of course, they haven't talked about it. Here's a mainstream article. Great Barrier Reef is damaged beyond repair and can no longer be saved, says scientists. The science says we believe in science. No, science is a process, not a belief system. And you can, the long-term monitoring program, annual summary of coral reef condition, 2020 to 2021. Reef in recovery window after decade of disturbances. It's just like I did a video on global greening, because we have more green matter on Earth than we've had since the time of Christopher Columbus. But the media doesn't talk about that the Earth has never been healthier on land, and now apparently the Earth has never been healthier on water. Look at it. Full recovery and more. Despite industry, despite plastic, despite pollution, despite all that it's destroyed beyond repair, that we're losing our Earth, we're not. And they never talk about it. They never talk about the good news. They never talk about the positive. Because they just want to have lightning bolt parties with Barack Obama at your expense so they can laugh at our collective stupidity.